This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. Today we are discussing about partitions and also what are the new features introduced in 12sim that we are discussing today. So first, partitions. What is a partition? Remember, partition means dividing a very big table into subtables. Partitioning means dividing a very large table into subtables. Don't divide small tables, it will not improve your performance. Only dividing a very large table into small tables, that is called as partitioning process. Why are you doing partitioning? Suppose there is a table, sales table. I have the business in 2010, 2010. At that time I started my business. Assume that. So up to last December 2010 means almost 9 years completed. 9 years completed. You can understand how many sales transactions generated. If you maintain all sales transactions in a single table, the table is really very large table. In that large table, if you are searching for some data, suppose 100 million transactions data is there, 100 million records are there. In that records, I want to find out total sales amount in 2010, and again total sales amount in 2011, again total sales amount in 2012. So you are finding total sales amount based on year. From each year you are calculating total sales amount. So how to write a query? Select sum of sales amount from sales table where sales date beginning from 1st January 2010 and sales date between 1st January 2010 and 31st December 2010. Okay, you are giving range of dates. First, it will verify condition. The condition verified on how many number of records? How many records are there in the table? Every record will be verified. Means 100 million records are verified. So if it is verifying 100 million records, it will take long time to get your result. So in such a case, how can I improve the performance? If you have very large tables, then you can create partitions on the tables. If I create partitions, what is the benefit? Partitions are providing these benefits: manageability, scalability, availability. Manageability, we can easily find out our information. Scalability, each partition is a small table, so we can easily handle that. Availability, suppose if any partition was corrupted, if a table, that is a partition table, if the partition table was corrupted, then still you can get that data from the original table. That is availability. Okay, partitions are three types. Partitions are three types. What are the three types here? First one, range partition. Range partition means the partition table is created based on range of values from a column. Again, I am repeating. The partition table is created based on range of values from a column. Just now I told you the sale date between 1st January 2010 up to 31st December 2010. It is one partition, 1 year partition. Similarly, you can create to 2011 partition. Similarly, you can create 2012 partition. So if you create a partition based on range of values in a column, then it is called as range partition. Remember, partition type always depends on your requirement. If you need partition based on range of values, then create range partition. How to create a partition table? Partition is also a table, but it is having limited data. See, create table, table name. So here I am writing columns. What are these columns? All these columns are available under original table sales. In the partition table also, we should maintain all columns from the original table. Okay. Then what type of partition you are creating? Partition by range. Okay. I want to create partition based on range of values. Range of values from which column? Time ID column. Okay. How to consider the values? Listen. Here I am changing the values. Be careful. Listen carefully. Let me take the partitions from 2014. So 2014 partitions. Sales transactions from 2014. Values less than to date of 1st January 2014 means 2015 here. Values less than 1st January 2015. So below the 2015 1st January, what is the value? Up to 31st December 2014. Next partition. I want to create next partition. That is 2015. So we should consider the sales up to 1st January. Values less than 1st January 2016. Less than 2016 January 1st means 31st December 2015. Here 2017. Okay, 2017 means first values less than 2018. And now I want to maintain, see, partition sales 2018. Values less than max value. You can also specify values less than to date of so and so. Values less than, suppose, remove the max value, remove it. And here I want to maintain this to date of this one. Consider up to here. Values less than 1st January 2019. So 1st January 2019 below means 31st December 2018. So like that you are creating how many? 1, 2, 3. So this is sales. This is sales 1, 2, and here we missed, I think, 16. Sales 2016 I missed. Okay. And then values less than 2017, and here 2017 partition, the values less than 2018, and again one more partition we will create. So how to create? See, consider this part. Here after this partition, paste it, and this is which partition? 2018 partition. 2018 partition means up to which value we have to take? Less than 1st of January 2019. Completed. So like that, keep that partitions. Whenever you are searching the data, if you want to calculate, listen, this is a table. In this table, so many partitions are there. If you search data or if you calculate something based on time value, it will search the data under corresponding partition only. It will search the data under corresponding partition only. So automatically searching time is decreased. If searching time is decreased, your performance is increased. Next, see, if you create time-based partition, see here, 98-year sales under one partition, 99-year sales under one partition, 2000-year sales under one partition. It will maintain the data like this. This is range partition. Next partition, list partition. This is list partition. What is list partition? Same, create partition based on list of values from a column. Create partition based on list of values from a column. In the previous one, range of values from a column. Now, list of values from a column. Suppose South Indian sales and North Indian sales. Assume that. So in the South Indian sales, I am taking like Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Okay, so these are list of names. It's not range of values. So if you consider the sales based on list of values, on that values, if you are creating a partition, that is called as list partition. So what is list partition? Tell me. Again, here I am typing that. So it is created. Hold on. It is created based on list of values from a column. Here I am considering channel ID. Based on channel ID values, I am creating some partitions. See, create a table, list sales. And in this table, how many partitions you are maintaining? 2 partitions. See, that's why after closing bracket of columns, partition by list. That list you are taking from which column? Column ID, channel ID. So partition even channels values 2, 4. These 2, 4 values taking from which column? Channel ID. And partition odd channels, that values 3, 9. So 2 partitions you are creating based on list of values. See here, consider this diagram. Even channels. So channel ID is always, you can see 2, 4. Odd channels, another partition. That is channel ID is 3, 9. Suppose if you have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, then you can specify here. Odd channels values 1, 3, 5, 9. That's your wish. That depends on your requirement. So this is called as list partition. And last partition, hash partitioning. Hash. Okay, hash partitioning means what? Listen carefully. Hash partition means, suppose if you have 100 records, assume that 100 records. I want to make 2 partitions. Then each partition contains 50 records. 50, 50. Suppose if you are creating 4 partitions, then each partition maintain 25 records. Suppose if you are making 10 partitions, hash partitioning, based by using hash partition, you are doing 10 partitions. 10 partitions means each partition contains 10 records. Each partition contains 10 records. What is the meaning of this? If you apply hash partition, Every partition contains, each and every partition contains equal size or equal number of records. So hash partition divide the partition or divide the table into equal size parts. Into equal size parts. That is nothing but hash partitioning. See, it is created based on equal size. Means each partition contains same number of records, almost same number of records. This is called as hash partition. Dividing a table by using hash partition means with equal size. So here create table hash sales. So I am dividing the table based on which column? Product ID. So partition by hash. You are taking product ID values. Partitions how many? 2. So you are getting 2 partitions. In these 2 partitions, count the records. Here 5 records and here also 5 records. Hope you understand. Again I am repeating what is partitioning. Dividing a very large table into smaller pieces. It is called as a partitioning. Why are you maintaining partitions? 3 benefits: manageability, scalability, availability. And how many types of partitions? 3 types: range partition, list partition, hash partition. Range partition created based on range of values from a column. List partition created based on list of values from a column. And hash partition created based on size. In Oracle or in OLTP, generally on OLTP tables we don't create partitions. OLTP tables we don't create partitions. Only we will create partitions on OLAP tables. Why? Because from the beginning of the business, the data should be maintained under data warehouse, which is called as OLAP, from the beginning day onwards. So ultimately the tables are very large tables. That's why we will create partitions on those tables. In case if you want to maintain partitions, uh, on OLTP tables, generally we will follow hash partitions only. Remember, in Oracle, which partition you are preferring? If you have a question from interviewer, say this answer. On OLTP tables, generally we will follow hash partitioning only. And remember, in case of hash partitioning, we don't specify partition name at anywhere. See, is there any partition name? No. But in the list partition, do you have partition names or not? Even channels one name, odd channels is another name. In the range partition, what are the partition names? See, sales from 2014, one name. This is another partition name. This is other partition name. In case of range and list partitioning, we can specify partition name. But in case of hash partition, we don't write any partition name. The partition names are automatically generated by system. See the diagram, you can easily understand. See this value. Table partition, system defined. Sys underscore P33, partition 33. This is partition 34. So this is about partitions. Now, what are the new features introduced in Oracle 12c? So we know that Oracle 12c is a multi-tenant database. Already I explained this in the beginning of the days. Multi-tenant database. What is multi-tenant database? Maintaining multiple databases under one big table. Under one big table, that is called as multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy is useful for implementing cloud architecture. Multi-tenancy is useful for implementing cloud architecture or cloud technology. And see, you can specifically watch this. Oracle Database 12c have more useful features for DBS, not for developer. More and more important features available for DBA specifically. Okay, as a developer, what are the points we should remember? Already we discussed sequence and we know what is default. We know what is default also. Okay, see, sequence generating sequential numbers. Default value populate column with default value. But in Oracle 12c, we can define a sequence value. We can take sequence values and automatically insert that sequence values into column. Automatically insert that sequence values into column. Here, hold on, let me create a sequence. Create sequence cust ID. Cust ID. Start with, let me write in the next line. Start with 101011. That's all. This is sequence created. Once sequence created, we can create a table. I want to create a table here. See, create table. Table name is customer. Generally, under customer table, we have CID. CID is a number. What is the default value into CID? The default value is like this. Default value take from sequence cust id dot next val, and you are defining primary key also. So we can define sequence value as a default value that was introduced in 12c. This type of specification not valid in Oracle 11g. Remember, this type of specification not valid in the old versions. Only it is valid from Oracle 12c. Next one, invisible column. See, every day we are connecting to database generally. See, username system. Okay, password manager. I typed, but I am not able to see. Why? The entity is invisible. You can't see that. See, here also same. If you want to maintain column, the column has data, but I don't want to display the values by default. I don't want to display the values by default. If you don't want to display the values by default, then define the column as invisible column. Define the column as invisible column. If you define it invisible, select star from EMP. No, you can't see that invisible column data. You cannot see that invisible data. Okay. See, but if you select, suppose select password, it is a column name. Password is a column name. Select password from table name. Then it will display the values. But select star from table. It will not display the values. So here, how to define a column as invisible column? See, alter table, table name. And here, suppose the table name is user accounts. Modify what is the column name? PWD. What is the property you are defining? Invisible. So by default, PWD column values not visible to the end user. Next one. Multiple indexes on the same column. This is also discussed at the time of discussing indexes. See, on any column, in the old versions, on any column, we can create only one index. But from Oracle 12c, on one column, you can create any different types of indexes. Multiple indexes, multiple different types of indexes you can create on a single column. Means salary column, now general index created. Can I create composite index on the salary column? Yes, you can create. Can I create reverse index on the salary column? Yes, you can create. So you can create multiple different types of indexes on a single column. That is possible from Oracle 12c. And this is discussed on the very beginning days, data types. See, varchar 2 length is increased to 32,767 bytes. Actually, varchar 2, nvarchar 2, raw data types. See, varchar 2, nvarchar 2 data types. Size is 4,000 bytes actually. 4,000 bytes. And the raw data type size is only 2,000 bytes. Only 2,000 bytes. So these three data type sizes, maximum sizes increased to 32,767 bytes. And now, top N feature. What is this top N feature? Come to our SQL Plus. System manager underscore file. Alter session set container equal to ORCL PDB. Connect as Dinesh 830 welcome @ORCL PDB. Now set line size 200 suppose. Let me start scrolling. I think C slash users slash Dinesh desktop Oracle school files. Under this, I think, what is the day? 32nd. Day 32. .txt. What is my target? See, get top 5 records from EMP table. How to get? We have row number. Select star from EMP where row number less than or equal to 5. It will display top 5 records. Okay. Now, what is my next target? Order employee table data based on salary. Order EMP data based on salary. How to order? Select star from EMP, order by salary. This is the data. From this output, I want to display top 5 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to Martin record you need to display. From this output, how can I display? So many people will make a mistake like this. Select star from EMP where row number less than or equal to 5 order by salary. So many people will do mistake like this. You will not get correct output. See here. Smith, Ward, Martin, Allen, Jones. Smith, Ward, Martin, Allen, Jones. But here, what is the records you have to display? Smith, James, Adams, Ward, Martin. But it is not displaying my required data. See, from the output of a select query, this is the output. This is the output. See, listen carefully. From the output of a select query, I want to display top n records. I want to display top n records. Top 2 records, or top 5 records, or top 10 records, whatever it is. That depends on your requirement. Okay, if you want to display top n records from output of a select query, we will use this keyword fetch first n rows only. Here I want to write the example. Display top 5 records. Okay, top 5 least salaried employee details. I will increase the font size, don't worry. Select star from EMP, order by salary, fetch first 5 rows only. Fetch first 5 rows only. After order by, you should specify fetch first 5 rows only. Then definitely it will select the top 5 records. See, select star from EMP, order by salary. At last specify fetch first 5 rows only. You will get exact output. See, Smith, James, Adams. Smith, James, Adams, Ward, Martin. Smith, James, Adams. See, Smith, James, Adams, Ward, Martin. Suppose if you have like this, get top 5 salaried employee details. Top 5 salaried employee details. Get the top 5 companies which are having highest revenue. You can find out. Get top 5 companies which are having highest sales. For all those requirements, we will use this. Select star from EMP, order by salary DES. So, top salaried employee to least salaried employee. From that output, take the records. Fetch first. Suppose top Okay, 5. Already I have given the question, right? See, top 5 salaried employee details. So in this way, we will use fetch first n rows only. You can select first n records from the output of a select query, which is nothing but top n feature. I think the font size, okay, right. Okay, next one is identity column. What is the use of sequence? Sequence is useful to generate numbers from 1 and also to generate numbers from different value. And you can, the default increment value is 1, but we can also change that increment value. To generate a sequence, we can begin at any value and we can modify increment value also. But in case of identity, in case of identity, always it will maintain serial number. That serial number should begin with 1 only. If you want to maintain record numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 record numbers physically, use identity column. Define a column value as identity. Define a column value as identity. Then what will happen? It maintains serial number, first 1, next 2, next 3. Default, if not only default, fixed increment value 1 only. You cannot modify increment value. You cannot modify starting value also. You cannot modify increment value and you cannot modify starting value also. That is the benefit of identity column. But in case of sequence, what is happening? You can start it anywhere and we can change increment value also. But here it is not like that. So how to define a column as identity? See, ID, it is a number type column. Generated as identity. We should specify generated as identity. So you don't insert any values into ID column. You will insert remaining column values. ID column value automatically generated. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hope you understand. These are the new features from the Oracle 12c according to developer perspective. I am not discussing about DBA related. Only I am discussing about developer related new features. And this is available in PL/SQL. We will discuss this part in PL/SQL. No, Vijay. If you want to start with a different number, always use sequence. But if you want to start with 1, then only go for identity. Don't expect a different number and don't expect different increment values. It is always started with 1. It's automatic and fixed. You can't change that. Okay, and this with class is related to PL/SQL. We will discuss with class in PL/SQL. That is about new features in Oracle 12c. This is the end of all concepts from SQL part. From Monday onwards, we will discuss PL/SQL. For tomorrow, there is no session. Monday onwards, we will discuss PLSQL. Right? That's all for today. Thank you, all of you. See you on Monday. Good night, Vijay.